Regina and I sat in my apartment, sipping our morning coffee as my mind reeled from the previous night's events. The silence was suddenly shattered by a sharp knock at the door, making me jump. Cautiously, I approached the door, my hand instinctively reaching for the pepper spray in my pocket. As I opened the door, I was greeted by an empty hallway. I was about to close it when a plain white envelope on the floor caught my eye. With shaky hands, I picked up the envelope. My curiosity piqued. I tore it open and found a single sheet of paper inside, covered in a haphazard scrawl that looked like it belonged to a conspiracy theorist. My eyebrows climbed higher with each passing sentence as I began to read.
Dear Amalia, I am an old-timer hamster, one of Bastian's most loyal followers. I've been watching his YouTube channel since the very beginning, and I must say, his recent behavior has me and the other old-timers quite concerned for his and your safety. You see, anyone who has followed Bastian for a long time knows that his recent messages don't make sense. We've watched him swoon over you countless times and speak proudly about your achievements. We also belong to a forum called Voynich.ninja, where multidisciplinary scholars and interested members of the public pore over all the details of the Voynich Manuscript. While some people in the forum believe the Voynich is a copy of Catamosto's Herbal, there aren't many of them because of the carbon dating. Bastian would never record the last two videos because they don't align with the information he and the hamsters have. But it was Bastian touching his metal that set off the alarm. We still remember when he shared that he had bought it to surprise his girlfriend, so she would know he always carried her close to his heart. We all made fun of him mercilessly. There were a lot of man-up messages on the video post. But he never cared, and even when you two broke up, he was visibly sad. So, it's clear that whoever is threatening him and forcing him to send those messages hasn't watched his old videos, which makes sense because Bastian has been going live twice a day for years. Amalia, we ninjas are here to support you. Go to the forum and check out the links to the digital copies of the Voynich archives held at the Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library at Yale University. There, you'll find photos of Ethel Voynich's notebooks, letters, and other important artifacts. Be warned, it's possible you are being watched. Avoid using digital or phone communication. Stay safe. An old-timer hamster.
I let out a snort of laughter, the absurdity of the letter momentarily overshadowing my anxiety. Hamsters? Ninjas? What kind of bizarre alternate reality have I stumbled into? I muttered, crumpling the letter and tossing it aside. But as I sat there, my mind began to wander. Bastian's recent behavior had been erratic, to say the least, and the image of him getting shot kept replaying in my mind, sending a chill down my spine. Could there be a grain of truth hidden in this ridiculous letter? I smoothed out the crumpled paper and read it again, more carefully this time. Turning to Regina, who was watching me with a mixture of concern and curiosity, I asked, "Hey, Regina, have you ever heard of a group called Voynich Ninjas?" Regina nodded.
Yeah, I know them. They're legit. Got scholars and experts from all over, been studying the Voynich Manuscript for years. That forum's the real deal.
My pulse quickened as I processed this information. If the forum was legitimate, then the letter's contents might hold more weight than I initially thought. I decided to take another look at Bastian's video, specifically the part where he compared the Voynich manuscript to Catamosto's Herbal. Pulling up the video, I paused it on the side-by-side comparison. At first glance, there were some similarities between the illustrations, but upon closer inspection, the similarities seemed cherry-picked. Glancing at Scully, who was curled up on the couch, I was reminded of my complicated history with Bastian. "I need to confront him," I said to Regina, my voice filled with determination. "I'm going to return Scully and make it clear that I want nothing to do with him or anything that reminds me of him." Regina nodded, understanding in her eyes.
Just be careful, Amalia. We don't know what kind of danger you might be walking into.
I scooped up Scully, ignoring the way my eyes began to water and my nose started to itch. With the cat securely in my arms, I headed out into the night, my mind racing with questions and possibilities. The streets were eerily quiet at dawn, and every shadow seemed to hold a hidden threat as I made my way to Bastian's apartment. I quickened my pace, my grip on Scully tightening as I hurried towards my destination. When I reached Bastian's building, I hesitated, suddenly unsure of what I would say or do when I saw him. But I knew I couldn't turn back now. I had to confront him, to demand answers and uncover the truth behind his bizarre behavior and the mysterious letter. Taking a deep breath, I climbed the stairs to Bastian's apartment, Scully squirming in my arms. I knocked on the door, my heart pounding in my chest as I waited for him to answer. Whatever secrets lay ahead, whatever dangers I might face, I was ready to face them head-on.